Welcome back, brother.
Hello, hello.
It has now been a week since we last met.
Yeah. And I've seen so many TV shows. I've watched so many episodes.
Dude, same.
I've got a whole new segment of what I've been watching.
I genuinely was like, no, we'll just get right to it. This episode will just be the embarrassing stories. But I'm like, but wait, I've been watching things.
I've been doing stuff.
Are we kidding? Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, in the last 7 days, I did watch Bernie.
Okay, yeah. How'd you like it?
I loved it.
Really?
Oh my gosh, you were completely correct. Bernie is my type of movie.
Okay.
Very indie film. It's also not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Very slow.
Yeah.
Almost extremely slow.
Yeah. And you're like, is this gonna pick up? Is this?
It never
is
does.
This the movie? And then you have like the one moment of like, oh wow, and then. Okay, is this still the vibe? And
that's my type of movie.
I love it.
I just thought the discussion afterwards that you can have about Bernie, oh my gosh, this man.
Yeah.
I genuinely was like, yeah, you know what? He did kill her, and it was justifiable.
Yeah, and totally innocent.
He's innocent even though he is guilty, but like, I don't think he should have gone to prison.
Yeah. I think he's still the nicest guy in prison. They had that little scene afterwards of Jack Black interviewing him in prison, and
Oh, I watched interviews of him in prison.
oh, did you? Like you then were like, I want to learn everything about this man.
Have you forgotten how hyper obsessive I am?
Oh yeah, okay.
I don't just casually do anything.
Yeah,
no, I watched Bernie, and the
Uh-huh.
whole time I was watching it, I was pausing to read about the case. Even though I'm literally watching it. So, like, all I need to do is finish the movie, and I would know. No, not enough. I'm pausing it to, like, read Wikipedia about it. Okay, perfect. I know what's going on. Play. And then I'm like, ooh, but then I'll have questions while I watch the movie, so then I pause it again to, like, read some more articles about it. Then it gets to the end, and I was like, I need to know who Bernie is. So I watched multiple interviews with him. Did you know he was actually released from prison? He served for, like... Oh gosh. I read a lot, so my facts may be slightly incorrect, but I know in 2016 he was released, so he was in there for like 8 or 9 years or something like that.
Okay.
And then he got retried because it came out that he had been sexually abused by his uncle as a child. So they really do believe that when he shot the woman, that he had like a dissociative episode in that moment. Like, he was traumatized by this abuse that he had in his youth, and then in this moment of he was being abused by this elderly woman, his brain just shut off and he just killed her.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody who doesn't know, I mean, Robbie explained it a little bit before, but truly the nicest man ever, like ever, and the whole community loves him, and Jack Black played him so well. Eventually he just gets in this relationship with this widow, and she is very emotionally abusive, and she kind of traps him and forces him to work for her and be her companion. And it's just this very, very abusive relationship that he found himself in for 2 years. And one day he just snaps and shoots her in the back 4 times. This is a true story.
Mm-hmm.
But the crazy part is he put her in a deep freeze.
And then managed her assets like she was still alive for like
10 months.
10 months, uh-huh.
But honestly, when you see the story, it's like, is it really that bad? What he did? Like, this man murdered her.
Wait,
in cold blood.
But the retrial did.
Yeah, so he got accused again. He
okay.
went back to prison in the retrial, and I really thought that in the retrial they'd be like, you know what, this man served his time, but no.
Right.
And the detective that was really against him, and that was the reason that he went to prison originally, he was the one that advocated that the trial be held outside of the town.
Yeah.
Because if it was held inside the town, everyone was going to exonerate him.
Yeah.
Not put him in prison at all. Like, at most, you'd get, like, community service for this murder. Because everyone hated the woman. But the detective said had he had known about the abuse in his childhood, he would have been, like, lighter on his sentence. So the detective did say that he regrets how much he pushed for a lifetime sentence, because once you really know the story, I genuinely don't feel like he's fully deserving of a life sentence. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he did murder somebody, but this is the kind of movie I like. I like these movies where it makes you question what you really believe about something, or morality and ethics.
Yeah, it becomes this ethical discussion.
Yes.
And it's kind of fun to enjoy a good ethical discussion where you can kind of play both parts, right? You can play the devil's advocate, you can play the not guilty type thing. So
I love the ethics discussion. I absolutely do. One of the best, in my opinion, ethical movies where it just makes you question everything is Promising Young Woman. Have you ever seen that?
I haven't. I've seen a lot of really good reviews of that, but
that one, it's so good. Yeah. But also, I recently watched another one. I've talked about it before, but Cat Person.
Okay.
That one will really make you think about stuff. It's like, that was a mind trip. And I enjoy those. I have a good time with them. So you were right. That one, for my personal rating, I would give Bernie an 8 out of 10.
Oh, yeah, that's higher. That's
super high for me.
Yeah.
For a public rating, I would do 5.5.
5, yeah. I was gonna say, and it's not that it's not for everybody because of the content. It's just not for everybody just because of the style. Of the film,
how it's filmed, how slow. Yeah, absolutely. I actually think the content is for a lot of people. I think people would find it fascinating, but I completely agree. Yeah. It's a very indie style in how it was filmed. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I did watch that. Thank you for your recommendation. I do take people's recommendations, all right? And this is great evidence. All my friends are like, you never like the stuff I recommend. Yes, I do. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Just stop recommending me trash.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, it feels like a you problem. I'm kidding. Recommend me things. Okay, what else you watched?
I saw A Haunting in Venice. That's the third installment of like the Murder on Orient Express franchise, where Hector Perol, that French guy, where that one you need to have closed captioning because you can't understand a word that man says. It was better than Death on the Nile, but it's not as good as the Knives Out franchise. I enjoy it. It is a murder mystery. A couple of people have died. You gotta figure out who did it. And it's those whodunits that we talked about last time, right? I got to the end of the movie and I totally was like, okay, the only person it could be is this person, and sure enough it was. It also had a lot of jump scares, so for me it was just kind of meh. It was a good mystery, but once you watch it, you're not going to rewatch it. So
that is the sad part about whodunits. Mm-hmm. It's a one-time type of movie for the most part. I mean, you got to be amazing for me to watch that again, knowing everything that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of the Knives Out sequel?
Glass Onion? I loved it. In fact, I really do enjoy both of those Knives Out films. I don't think Sarah's seen it yet, so I wanted to watch it with her.
Okay. I also watched Love, Rosie. Have you ever seen that? Lily Collins and Sam Claflin.
I think I've seen the trailer for it, but I don't think I've seen that movie.
It is my type of movie!
Is it?
It's very reminiscent of One Day. If you are a fan of One Day, which I don't think you've seen
the
that
chick
one.
flick?
There is a movie One Day, but I'm actually talking about the TV show One Day.
Ah, okay.
It's highly emotional. It takes you on this emotional journey. It's depressing like 85% of the time, which I love. Yeah. Because, it just feels so real. I was just gasping. I was like, I can't believe I've never seen this before. Because it's so my genre, where it's just one thing after the next, and you're just like, man, they're making such terrible life decisions. But in the end, it's good, but the whole time, what a journey we took to get there. Yeah. I'm kind of exhausted at the end. I really liked it.
Yeah.
My rating on Love, Rosie is going to be, I'm going to give it a 7.5. I feel like I need to watch it one more time in order for me to really give it an 8, but I really enjoyed myself.
Okay.
And then public rating, I would give it a 6 out of 10.
I watched the first season of Shameless this week.
Oh, how was that?
Not for everybody. That is one you definitely need to VidAngel. But it is about the Chicago family. I don't know if you've seen.
Oh, I know what it's about.
Okay, yeah. All right. I don't know what has attracted me to it because I've gotten a bunch of clips on Facebook and everything about it. It's just the fact that these people live totally crazy lives that I've never even considered as a life. That just really intrigues me of the difficulties that they go through. It really humbles me and puts my problems into perspective. Sometimes I just need a good perspective show or movie. Like anytime I feel really bad about myself, I'll watch The Pursuit of Happiness because I know of no other movie that will break my depression than the pursuit of happiness.
Quite like Will
and Jaden Smith sleeping in a subway bathroom to really put your life into perspective.
When I watched Pursuit of Happiness for the first time, I was depressed for days. And I like a depressing movie. Hello, like as we've discussed, I like those deep movies. That was too deep. We went too deep.
That one was real.
You know when you like go swimming or something, right?
Yeah.
And you go just like a little too far, so the panic starts to rise when you're not gonna reach the top by the time your air supply's finished. And you're just like, oh, you're like trying to tell yourself to calm down. Like you're almost there. You're almost to the top. You're almost there. Like break this. Like your like lungs are about to burst because you went too far.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about Pursuit of Happiness. I was like, no, we actually submerged a little too deep, and I was like, when are we getting out? I can't do it for 1 second longer. I'm gonna inhale all the water. I haven't watched it since because it was so difficult for me that first time around.
Oh yeah. No, it's a rough film. I love it so much.
It's beautifully made.
It's wonderful.
And I love Will Smith movies like Collateral Beauty. Collateral
Beauty, 7 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Love 7 pounds.
Love 7 pounds. Like I'll watch those. Those aren't too deep for me. But for whatever reason, Pursuit of Happiness, man. Yeah. Ooh, that one was hard.
As we've been talking, I'm thinking about one of the only movies that you and me have ever watched together, like outside of family time. Okay. But like the one film that you and me watched together based off of a friend's recommendation.
Hold on, can I...
Yeah, it was my senior year of high school, right before I left on my mission. And
was it
the boy in the striped pajamas? Oh my goodness. And, oh gosh, this film we knew nothing about. All right, we had a friend who she's like, I just watched this. It was amazing. You should watch it too. It's on Netflix, so we're like, sure, why not? Well, Saturday morning, happy morning. Let's just hit play. We didn't see a trailer. We read no summary. We read nothing about it.
Yep. Well, and the cover that it had, it wasn't the cover where it's like the chain link fence and you have the two kids. It was just the one singular boy in the striped pajamas.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's a comedy.
And we're like, ooh, this is going to be awesome. And you don't realize what type of movie it is until about halfway through.
Until it's too late.
Yeah, until it's way too late. You don't realize you were in a Holocaust concentration camp movie until all of a sudden, because it's one of those slow ones where it slowly builds and you're like, okay, it's this German family. They get moved to the countryside. Oh, the country is so beautiful.
Yep.
Crap.
And then all of a sudden you're seeing the smoke billows and you're like, wait. What is this?
Oh
what is happening? And then it all hits you at once and you're way too deep and you're like, maybe if I watch till the end, the trauma.
Yeah, he'll find his dad. And oh my goodness, I'm crying just thinking about that movie. You and me were sobbing by the end of that.
I remember holding a pillow, both of us like grasping pillows, and Mom came down and was like, what are you guys watching? Because I think we paused it when like the death happens. And we were completely not okay. We were unwell.
Oh my
we were
goodness.
Sobbing.
Yeah.
Just buckets of tears. And it's like 10 a.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know where everybody else was. Like, we've got 2 other siblings and 2 other parents.
Yeah.
And where
were they? I think they must have come home from something because I do remember Mom being like, what is happening in here? And we're like, we thought it was a funny movie. but he went in, he was burned.
He went in and then
he went in, he couldn't get out.
And all you have is just a slow pan backwards of the door and then all the shoes and the pajamas and then the movie ends and oh my goodness.
I'm literally getting destroyed all over again just thinking about it.
Dude, that film.
Honestly, like, I'm glad that they have things like that really depict like the truth of it all.
Yeah.
But man, Not for a casual Saturday morning.
No, you gotta be prepped. You gotta understand what movie. That is a deliberate watch.
Yeah, that's a high school history class watch. That's what that is. That's a homework
that's
assignment.
a parental slip watch. Okay,
Yeah.
that is. I need parental consent to watch this, and I am in the World War II Holocaust section of my history class. Not a hey, let's skip Family Matters and Disney cartoons on a Saturday and watch this instead.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was traumatic. And honestly, I mean, since we're talking about the Holocaust really quick, when I went to Washington, D.C.
Okay, did you go through it?
I went through the museum.
The museum?
I will say that is the most beautifully curated museum I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah.
From the moment I went up to the top floor, I was like, whoever did this curation is one of the best in the world. I mean, it is beautifully laid out, but when you work your way down to the floor...
And you round that corner, and they just have that display of all the shoes and
not even the shoes. The shoes were emotional for me.
Shoes were emotional.
But mine was the sculpture of, like, the walking of all the children to...
The gas chambers.
To the gas chambers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. I was glad I was alone, because I felt like I could, like, really feel the feels on that. That was a moment I will never forget in my life.
Oh my goodness.
Going through that museum. And I couldn't watch any of the things over
I had to. As we were watching, I told Sarah that she couldn't. I told Sarah not to. But I felt like I have to. I have to understand. It's one of the very few museums that I've been to where I've read everything on the wall.
Same.
I've read the whole thing. I agree. It's beautifully done. You just walk out of that museum and a totally different person.
Oh, yeah. If you guys have never been to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., they have the section where it has video of the experiments that were done and different things, but they have, like, these walls up, so you have to peer your head purposefully over the wall to see the screens. You're not just seeing the videos.
And it's probably 4.5 feet tall or something, so, like, kids can't look at it and everything, right? Like, they do a good job of protecting those who shouldn't or don't want to see it.
Yeah, and I couldn't. I know myself. I know I can't even handle, like a basic cut in a TV show. Like, I can't physically watch, like, real videotape like that.
Yeah.
But, wow. Oh, okay. Now that we've just...
Yeah, sorry, that was...
Now that we veered and discussed the importance of knowing about the Holocaust, which is very important.
Yes.
But not really the tone of my podcast.
That's
so
fair.
we're gonna skirt onto lighter topics. We're gonna jump back in. I have been watching Kevin Can F Himself. And it literally is like the letter F and then it has like stars. This show is so fascinating. I'm 2 episodes away from finishing it, so I do not have a rating yet. But it is the most brilliant filming ever. It is filmed in such a unique way that I feel like the creativity in just the cinematic experience is worth commending. So it starts off as this sitcom. Go in, it's super brightly lit, bright colors, you have the canned laughter, the punchline type of script writing, right? Within the first 2 minutes, you're like, this is so annoying, I'm gonna turn this off immediately. But then you have the wife, and she enters the other room. So she exits this, it has this big wide, it has this big wide shot in the living room, and you're having this dialogue with all these different characters and these people, right? And she goes through the swinging door into the kitchen, and boom, all the lighting changes. It's dark. It's almost like you're put back into reality instead of this sitcom. So it's so fascinating because the plot of it is she wants to kill her husband because her husband is abusive. But she lives in this sitcom-y world when she's with
everything
him.
Everything is perfect.
Yeah. Well, everything's funny and he's just everyone loves him. He's the best. Everything's so bright when he's around. But the reality that she lives in is just this nightmare. So you get to see this back and forth with Kevin and then with her. And in season 2, the lighting also changes significantly with the other characters. So they do a lot of storytelling with the lighting, which I've never really seen before. And then you have these big wide shots when you're with Kevin in this sitcom mode, and then you have these close-up shots when you're with the people individually outside of this sitcom-y world. So it just kind of gives you this different perspective of being viewed versus from my perspective. Anyways, I'm really liking it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see the ending to see how it all works out and if I really liked it. It's a little bit slower for me. It didn't like grab me. It's taking me, 3 days to watch 2 seasons rather than a day.
So that's
a little bit slower.
But it's got Annie Murphy from Schitt's Creek. And that was really like her big project right after Schitt's Creek was this one, right?
I think so, yeah. And she does a phenomenal job in it. I really like her.
That style of filming, you probably haven't seen WandaVision.
I have.
Okay, so it's
similar.
Very similar, where Wanda's in her little sitcom-y thing, but then she starts to slowly break out of that TV.
That's actually such a good comparison. I hadn't thought of that.
That TV mode and into the real life aspect.
That is what it feels like. Yes. Exactly like that. Great comparison. So, anyways, Kevin can F himself. The final review will be coming soon. I'm sure I'll finish the last 2 episodes tonight, and then on a future episode, I'll let you know what I think. As of right now, I think it's worth the watch just for its uniqueness.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? Anything else you've been watching?
I don't think so. And then
Did you finish The Bear season 3?
I stopped watching The Bear.
Me too!
The Bear, I couldn't even get past season 1, actually.
Wait, pause. You told me to watch it.
I did because I knew that you would like it. But it got too stressful for me, the whole... And you know exactly the episode I'm talking about, which is the online ordering episode.
I talked about this on my podcast.
It was way too stressful for me, and it was giving me Prison Break vibes, and I just couldn't do it. I just had to back out. I just couldn't handle it.
If you listen to my podcast, you would feel very validated because I talk about that scene specifically. I didn't know I was hired in to work in this restaurant. I was so stressed. I can't get myself to watch season 3. I watched all of season 1 and season 2. But I'm like, am I really ready? Do I want to enter back into that space?
Yeah. Do I want to watch something that is getting Academy Awards for comedy when this is purely a drama, stress-inducing, and anxiety-inducing show? Where's
the comedy?
Yeah, okay, you got the fat guy saying one funny little bit, and then, it's comedy.
I've got words to say on that, but okay, I was just wondering, because you were the one that got me to watch it.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
I didn't like it. What are you talking about? I didn't. I was stressed.
I'm glad you watched it.
The fact that you're like, I bailed because it gave me too much anxiety, but I gave it to you and thought you could handle it. No, I couldn't. We are siblings. We're about the same DNA. We both couldn't handle Prison Break. What made you think I could handle The Bear?
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my gosh. No, I can't handle Pursuit of Happiness. My line is thin. I like it. It can be sad to an extent, but not stressful.
Yeah.
Suspense. Maybe I should do a ranking one of these days of these are the sad type of movies I like, but these ones cross my line.
I see. Okay, yeah, give me a line.
I'll give you a line. The Bear, Prison Break, and Pursuit of Happiness, they're crossing over for sure. Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Okay.
So far across that line.
Yep.
Did you ever watch Dance Academy with us?
Dance Academy. I don't think I did. Was that when I was on my mission?
Yeah,
we watched H2O. We watched H2O, and by we, I mean I had to hear you and Michael talking about this stupid Australian mermaid show.
You take that back.
So long that I ended up watching. I think it was the last season with you guys.
And was it stupid?
To this day, I think it's the dumbest show I've ever seen. But you guys were so about it. I will support you and loving H2O.
I feel like you low-key loved it though. I mean, you all watched it. Michael and Jeffrey watched it multiple times with me. Every summer for 3 summers.
No way.
Yeah.
Really? That's so funny.
I know for a fact we watched it both junior and senior summer. It was beginning of summer. What should we watch? H2O?
Oh no.
Claire! That one and Dance Academy. They would watch that with me. They were both Australian shows. There's something about the Australian shows that just... I don't know if it's the accent. I don't know. I don't remember. I think the H2O Just Add Water was better than Mako Mermaids. Jeez, how do we always get through this much time? We need to shut up and get to it. My gosh. Okay, everybody, we're stopping right now and we're talking about our missions. Goodness. You literally just point to the clock and I'm like, ah! Oh my gosh. Okay.
Turns out you and I
shut
can
up?
have a lot of fun together.
Okay. Now talking about our missions.
Okay.
We're going to dive right in. What were some of the most unhinged things that you did?
That I did as a missionary.
As a missionary.
Being just crazy.
I would explain unhinged as being crazy, yes.
Okay, well, the issue is you know me and that I'm not really an unhinged person. So I could talk about unhinged things that I've either seen or witnessed, but what did Robbie do specifically? No, not much.
Okay, you can talk about what you witnessed. You tell us what stories are coming to mind that you're like, this is a great story.
Okay, so we had an elderly guy who was a member, but he wasn't coming to church and everything, and we wanted to go and serve him. He said that he had this camper. It needed to be washed and then taken to his property up the canyon. So we're like, sure, great, we'll do that for you. And then he said he'll take us out to dinner afterwards. So we power washed this thing at the local Shell, and it's looking great. And then he's like, all right, we're going to go up the canyon. It's going to be this 2-lane highway or freeway, basically, through the canyon. We're going to drop it off, and then we'll go to dinner. I am right behind him, and he has to turn left to his property. Okay. He turns left, and his brake lines go out. And I watch him go onto his road and straight into the trees. And he totally is just barreling through the trees. And I'm like, crap, I gotta go save him. So as a semi-truck is barreling down the highway to me, I cut in front of this semi to turn left to go and help this guy. I could have definitely died. Luckily, if you know a camper, it's got that bed, it sits on top of the cab of the car, right? And the very top corner caught a tree and prevented him from barreling into the tree on the driver's side. He swings open the door, cussing a storm. He hurt something, so he has to kind of crawl back out, call insurance and everything. And then after all of that is said and done, we were probably about 30 minutes there. Adrenaline calmed down. We get on top of the camper. We're taking pictures. We're having fun. And then he's like, all right, let's go to lunch. And I'm like, you're hungry still? Like, you want to go and feed me? Like, I'm not even hungry. Then he takes us to the most beautiful restaurant I've ever been to on the island of Victoria, where you can see not only Victoria, but also a place called Sydney. And it was just gorgeous. And the whole time I hated it. And I'm like, we almost died. And I could not get that out of my head long enough to enjoy the moment. That was a really crazy moment.
That's a good one. I was unhinged. Our mom printed out, very kindly, all of our emails home, because both Robbie and I served missions at the time where you could only email home once a week and you could only call your parents twice a year on Mother's Day and on Christmas. For my mission, you had an hour for each of those calls, and it was timed because, of course, it was. Anyways, my mom composed all of these emails that we had sent out describing, you know, the day in the life that we sent out every single week. I tried reading back through those emails.
Oh, yeah?
I couldn't.
No?
I couldn't! Because I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I'm so mortified at the things that I did. I mean, at the time, I thought... At the
courage of a 19-year-old.
I was so delusional that I genuinely thought that was going to help. For example, okay, this, I think, perfectly describes who I was as a missionary, all right? And I say this with so much remorse. It's so embarrassing. We went to a zone conference, my first transfer, which is when you get all the missionaries together and you, hoorah, we're the best, and you need to do better, you're actually the worst. That's what zone conferences are. So the core takeaway from this particular zone conference, my first, was that we were wasting too much time in the car. So I took that to heart. I was like, God is telling me I'm wasting his time, and I don't want to be wasting God's time. I'm only here for a short amount of time. I'm set apart as a missionary to be doing his work. How dare I be sitting in my vehicle? So, I literally can't believe I did this. So we had pass-along cards, right? These cards that say, like, visit Mormon.org, back when that was a thing. And it has a picture of Jesus. Well, when my companion and I left that zone conference, I was like, sister, we need to be getting out of the car more often. So at every single stoplight.
No, you didn't.
I was driving, okay? I'm in the driver's seat. It's a fresh red.
It's a fresh red.
I like slam the vehicle into park, unbuckle my seatbelt, and get out of my car.
Oh my god.
To run around to give out pass-along cards to people who are also stopped at the intersection. Like, what? What? And I literally was like, yeah, I'm doing God's work. I can't even imagine what that was like to be behind us. And all of a sudden you see us get out of our vehicle at this red light. And then we're approaching your window, like, here's a car, like,
knocking on their window, roll it down.
No, literally. And then racing back to our car because the light turned green. Oh my gosh. And then, of course, we gotta be buckled before I can go.
Yep.
So, like, trying to, like, slam it back into drive and then, like, buckle my seatbelt and then go. One time, we were stopped by a train, and it was a really, really long train.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the best day of my life because I was like, this is perfect. Everyone's stuck here. So I put it in park the second I see the train rails go down. And these poor people were just stuck with us, knocking on their windows, being like, hey! In the middle of nowhere.
Oh, it
was just like a fields on both sides, so it's just these cars.
Stuck with you.
Yes, they could not escape. So no, I'm just there like walking the street, I should say, up and down, waiting for people to roll their windows down.
Oh my goodness.
Like handing out books of Mormon and pass along cards.
There's many different ways to contact and to talk to people, right? You knock on doors. That was my primary thing. There were a lot of spider webs my first summer. And so what we would do is we would stick this pass-along card in the spider web. So it would be hovering and floating, especially when it's like above them and above their door. So instead of sticking it in the door, what I would do is I would stick it in the spider web right across from the door so they can see this and just see Jesus. We got pretty good at like throwing the pass-along cards into the door and having fun with that.
The things you get good at.
The things you get good at as you're walking the streets. But I do remember my most northern area was a little town called Terrace. And I was there in the dead of winter, and it got dark at like 3. And remember, I was in British Columbia, super dark, and you go knocking on doors at 4 or 5 o'clock, and people are like, I'm putting my kids down. And I'm like, it's freaking dinner time. What are we doing sleeping right now? So the only other way to contact was to go to the store. And so we would go store contacting. I felt more comfortable approaching women than I did approaching men.
Because they're less likely to be like, get away from me.
Yeah. They're nicer to me.
Yeah.
And I'm a very nice person. But anyways, I remember I would go and I would loiter around the shampoo and conditioner and body wash aisle.
I can't wait to hear what your
so
line
that
was.
My line was I would pull 2 random things out and be like, hey, do you know which one is better? I'm only 19. I left for home to come on this mission, and I don't know. My mom used to do this for me. Have you heard of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
What a segue.
I tell you how many people invited us over was actually, I had a really success rate.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
I had a great conversation with some girl over knitting needles because I told her my story of hoop knitting in the corner of the closet. And that really got some points with her. She's like, yeah, sure, you can come over and talk to me about your religion. Her name was Kelly, so we bonded over that too.
Did you ever get people thinking Kelly was your first name?
Oh, to this day, I get called Kelly, and I think that's totally fine.
Oh my gosh. We weren't allowed to store contact. We also weren't allowed to contact in gated communities. I didn't knock doors anyways, because I thought it was a waste of time. Still do. But street contacting is my jam.
Ah, you're going up to the people who are stuck at the bus terminal waiting for the bus, and there's nowhere for them to go because they got to get on that bus.
We didn't have as many buses as just like halfway houses.
Sheesh.
I think you forget where I served.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There were
enough.
fields of fruit and halfway houses. That's where I served.
I see.
You know, I was out with the gang members.
Yeah, so you're like, how long you been out? You looking for Jesus?
And they always were.
Uh-huh.
They were the nicest people. Here's the thing is, I really enjoyed being a missionary in such a rough town because you really get to see how kind people are. Like, these people that society has totally written off, and that in a lot of ways they've been handed a really rough deck and they've played them in a bad way. You know, there's circumstances sometimes they could control and they contributed to their own problems. Sometimes they didn't. But God is no respecter of persons. Yeah. You know, the scriptures say that. So you're talking to every person. But I think for people who have never served a mission, and especially for people who are not members of our religion and don't quite understand when I say I talked to every single person that I saw, just think in a typical week how many people you pass by. What if you paused and tapped them on the shoulder and said hi to every single one? I can tell you for a fact that not everyone is gonna have the same social conditioning, and you get some wild interactions. Like, one person's tweaking out. you gotta, and there's something about being a missionary, like, everyone feels like they can confess their entire life story to you.
Yeah. Well, I served in Canada 2014 to 2016, so the end of my mission was the Tramp campaign. So not only am I the person that you confess your sins to, I am also the representative of the United States of America, and I am here to talk about foreign policy with you. And oh my goodness.
Well, and you don't even know what he said.
Yeah, I got no idea. I'm not watching the news. I can't. I don't watch the news. I don't listen. The only time that I had to be able to learn about the outside world was the checkout of Walmart. You would deliberately not do self-checkout so you could actually read some headlines of the tabloids.
Yeah.
And then to listen to the music, we would go either to Subway or the car wash, and they're blasting, blasting music, and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna sit here and like, oh, this is the new Shake It Off from Taylor Swift. I like this one.
That's so real, because the car wash, we had to wash our car every single week, and we would go to the car wash, and that 5 minutes vacuuming the vehicle, listening to secular music, it revitalized me each and every week. Whoa, sometimes when it was a song I knew, it took everything in me not to sing along. I was like, because my companion would have been like, sister. I was like, oh,
we had
so good though.
We had an elder in our mission who he was from Vancouver area, and he has Down syndrome. He served for 3 years. He even got his mission extended, and he would come out with the missionaries 4 times a week, I think. He loved Mountain Dew Kickstarters and Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, and the only time that he got them is when he went to the gas station, when the elders went to the gas station to go and fill up. Okay. So every morning he would get into the car. He'd be like, elders, we need to go get gas. And I'm like, Elder Sloan, we don't need gas. And he's like, no, we need gas. And I just remember I was his zone leader, and I remember his companions talking to me, and he's like, Elder Kelly, Elder Sloan is rapping Eminem at the bus stop while he's waiting for us to come pick him up at 10 o'clock. Like, he is literally, he's got his headphones on, and he is spitting rhymes at the bus stop. Like, this isn't good. And so I went to Elder Sloan, and I'm like, Elder, do you feel the spirit? He's like, oh, I feel the spirit, all right. No, this is spiritual. And I was like, all right, fine, Elder Sloan. If you're feeling the spirit, then by all means, keep rapping Eminem. And who am I? Who am I to say anything to you, buddy? Like, you can do whatever you want. I'm just happy you're out. I just remember one time during P-Day, your day off, as you revitalize and everything, you can get together with other missionaries in your area, at least we could, and we would play games. One of the games was called chair soccer. And basically you're in the gym and everybody has a chair to defend and a soccer ball, and you can either defend your chair or be aggressive and go play. And if the ball hits your chair, then you're out. And I remember one time some elder, he kicked the ball and it hit Elder Sloan straight in the face. Oh, no. This poor Down syndrome kid just straight in the face. And we all everybody just stopped. And we're like, what just happened? And he's like, you just hit a disabled kid. I get to do that back. And we're like, yeah, for sure, Elder. Get up against the wall, and Elder Sloan is going to take his time hitting you back with a soccer ball. 15 minutes it took him to make contact with the missionary. He'd be like, all right, here's the ball. And he'd go and he'd kick it, and he'd go far right and far left. Oh my goodness. Oh, it was so much fun. He always came in clutch whenever we went out to do sushi. Oftentimes we would make a local place bankrupt because you'd have a bunch of 20-year-old missionaries who could just pound food, and we would get, I think our highest bill was probably $300. It would have been $300. It was all you can eat, so we only paid like $15 each or something. And we had a table of 9 missionaries or something like that.
You guys are the worst.
We ate so much
Elders
sushi. We ate so much sushi.
The worst.
But we would have like a roll and a half left, and you either have to eat it or you have to pay for it. And we're like, all right, Elder Sloan, it's your turn. And I mean, he's been eating just as much as we have, if not more. And he's like, don't worry, guys, I got you. And he just scarfs this down. And we're like, the only person I bring into sushi is Elder Sloan. The moment Britt can do that, he and I are going out. We're going out to sushi.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here's the thing. If you don't already know, missionaries are given monthly funds. For us, we got I think it was $150 a month.
Okay.
And we had to pay for our car washes once a week. That was a required thing that we had to pay for. We had to wash our sheets every week. That was also a requirement.
Wow.
I know. So, laundry took up the bulk of preparation day because we would either have to go to a laundromat or in one area, we had a glorious, wonderful woman that would do our laundry for us. Oh, God bless her. Sister Own Savath. I love her. She was my mission mother. So, P-Day, ours was from after studies, so 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Because we had district meeting on Mondays.
Oh, wow.
On P-Day.
So they even cut it short.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Because it's normally, it's 9 to 6.
Yeah, no, ours was 9 to 5 because we had our stupid meeting on my vacation day, on my preparation day. Anyways, I don't know why I brought that up, but I was just remembering preparation day. Oh, no, I remember. Okay. So you're given your card with allocated funds for how much you have for groceries, right? And the freaking elders were the worst with their money. All right, I budgeted out because I was like, okay, it's gonna require this much money to get my groceries every week this month. If it was a 5-week month, those were the worst.
Yeah. Because
it was only once a month. It wasn't every 4 weeks. So if you had 5 Mondays in that month, oh my gosh, you were so poor, and we had no money. Unless you wanted to take from your own, right? But the elders would always go out and get freaking sushi week 1 when their funds came in. They would blow all their money on sushi and ribs. They'd go to Buffalo Wild Wings. They do all this crap. So then they come whining, crawling to us 3 weeks into the month being, sisters, we don't have any toilet paper. We don't have any toothpaste. We're broke. And I'm like, Elder, why you keep whining to me? So in our mission, the elders had a key to our apartment because the district leaders did apartment checks once a month, which was horrible. Oh, I can't even explain to you how messed up this was. If they wanted to check your apartment while you were home, you had to step out because elders and sisters couldn't be in the same apartment together. So we would step out and if a sister had her garment, had her underwear hanging because she had her period and gotten a mess and had washed it off and was hanging it dry, I literally had one of the sisters where she was written up for that. By one of the elders. He was sisters, you need to take better care of your undergarment shouldn't be shown and stuff. And I'm get out of my apartment! That's my place!
I didn't even know where the sisters lived. I lived in so many areas where it was an elder and a sister companionship in the ward. I could not tell you where they lived.
Oh, see, I lived in the same apartment complex as the elders. So they were 4 doors down from us, which was really fun sometimes. Yeah. Because then, again, I could talk to some other missionaries and stuff and, have some different interaction in the day. But they really took that, small little token of power and abused it. So, yeah, anyways, they would come into our apartment while we were gone, out working, and they would steal our stuff. So we would always come back and like our toilet paper was gone and our like dish soap was gone, our hand wash, like everything was gone. It would make me so frustrated because I would go over to their apartment, you know, knock, knock, knock. It's 9 p.m. and I'm like, elders, you stole our toilet paper again. And they're like, ha, sisters, you know, what about being charitable? Oh. I'm like, just because you blow your funds on sushi doesn't mean I gotta pay for it every month. That was like one of my biggest pet peeves on my mission. I feel really
bad for bringing up sushi now.
Yeah, no, it like triggered something in me because I was like, those stupid elders would spend all their money and then they come crawling to us.
I had plenty of funds, just so you know.
Oh, did you?
I was totally fine.
Must have been nice.
I didn't. But did you guys, as a companionship, did you buy food together or separate?
Separate always.
Okay, so
ain't ever buying groceries with somebody.
Really?
No. Unless I'm married to you and we're eating the same food. Otherwise.
I think, if I remember correctly, my first companionship, it was separate. And I hated that. I really hated it. And so in my companionships, we always split the bill. But I just remember one P-Day, we were going out, we were going to go play basketball. And my companion had the keys in his hand. We had a car and everything. And we're waiting for the elevator. And so he's kind of flipping the keys on his hands and stuff. And right as the elevator doors open, those keys slip out. And it didn't even touch the ground. It didn't slide. It went straight, a perfect arc into the gap between the elevator and the floor, and there was some guy that was standing there waiting to go to work or something, and he sees the keys and he just looks up and he's like, well, that sucks. And we're like, have a good day, sir. And we go back. Luckily, this guy did not lock our apartment 4 stories up. I don't know how we would have gotten in. The office had to come and bring our spare keys, and it was this whole thing until the elevator people could actually go. It took like 2, maybe 3 weeks for us to get our keys back, our actual keys back.
Was it the keys to your car as well?
It was the keys to our cars, the keys to our apartment. The mission home had the spares for both. And so they were able to bring them and everything, right? But
idiots.
But our little free Frosty Wendy's thing, that was on there. I was Frosty list for 3 weeks.
Let's get into some embarrassing stories, okay?
Ooh.
My most embarrassing story does have to do with bowel movement. Did you ever poop your pants on your mission?
My last companion likes to think I did. I think I had a very wet fart, but we rushed home. We did rush home just to make sure. He brings it up all the time. He's like, hey, remember that one time? And I'm like, dude, it's been 10 years. Can we move on from any of this? So he will for sure, I think he would die saying that I did. I think it wasn't as bad as maybe it was, but it's been a minute.
Oh my God. Okay, so I didn't crap myself, but this was by far the most embarrassing thing to happen to me, which is saying a lot because I did a lot of embarrassing things as a missionary, but at the time I was like, that's not embarrassing. Like
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's me being outgoing.
Yeah, exactly. Once upon a time, I went to a house. We were teaching some teenage boys. We were able to get in their house because they had their grandmother there as well. Now, She didn't speak any English, Spanish only. We were not Spanish-speaking missionaries. But anyways, we were teaching these boys. Well, that day, I was wearing a silk red skirt. Now, if you know anything about the fabric of silk, any sort of wetness of any kind is going to show and it's not going to dry.
Oh,
so
no.
that's just important information to preface the story, okay? So I go to the restroom, and a little thing about me, I don't ever poop outside my home.
Yeah.
I will hold it to the point of constipation and pain. Like, I don't want to be having a bowel movement outside of my comfort zone. But for whatever reason, that day, my body was like, this has to happen. So I go to the bathroom. In the bathroom, I have 3 bowel movements. I go to flush the toilet. My skirt is like still down, right? On the floor. I turn around, I flush the toilet. I'm going to pull my skirt up, and immediately upon flushing the toilet, I was like, this is a problem. Because it starts like gurgling, And then it starts flooding the toilet, right?
Which is the exact fear that you have doing anything outside of your home.
Oh my gosh. So I have 3 turds in the toilet, and I watch as these come up and over the seat onto the floor.
No.
Because the whole thing was like flooding water. It was like something broke, and it was just like this gush of water coming up the toilet seat. And I was like so panicked because obviously, so my skirt is still down, remember that. And I'm watching this happen, I'm like, just like hands flapping, like no idea what to do as I watch my turds just float up and land on the floor. And then the floor starts flooding with this urine water. There are no towels in that bathroom, okay? There's also no trash can in that bathroom. It's just me and the toilet and the floor. That's what's going on in that bathroom. So I'm like trying to pull my skirt up, but it's being sprayed by water, right? And at this point, by the time I'm like trying to get up, because I was so panicked, I was just like froze. The entire rim of my skirt, because it was on the floor, was just soaked in this urine water.
Yeah.
And so I pull my skirt on, and you just see, like...
There's a contrasting of colors.
Oh, like, so big!
So
it was like I dipped my skirt in water.
Well, and...
my socks soaked. Absolutely soaked. The floor was flooding. The whole thing. Just so panicked. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to open this door and like, scream for help, right? But my poop. My poop is on the floor. So I'm, like, grabbing at toilet paper, and I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So I get it all in a corner.
Please tell me you didn't pocket.
No.
Okay.
I didn't have any pockets. No.
Okay.
But no, I put it all in the corner and like cover it in a pile of toilet paper and was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. So anyways, I open the door and I'm like, sister? And the grandma comes running in and she sees the floor flooding, right? Like it's still actively producing water.
Yeah.
Just all over. The whole thing is like in probably like half an inch of water at this point. It's a very small bathroom.
Yeah.
So anyways, the grandma was like, oh, and so she runs to grab towels and she starts like shoving me out of the bathroom so she can deal with it, right? But I was like, she's gonna find my poop. It's in the corner. It's like right there. I can like see the toilet paper that I used to cover it, like soaking up.
And you're like, it gets translucent.
No. So then I'm fighting with her, being like, no, I got it. Like, no, please let me clean it up. So she ends up shutting off, like, whatever valve she needs to get it to stop, like, spurting water. And I was like, thank you, like, I got it. No, don't even worry about it. We were just in this power battle. She's the sweetest old woman ever, right? And she's like, no, I'm gonna clean it up. And I was like, I swear on my life. If you don't leave this bathroom.
You're not getting in that corner.
Oh my gosh. There was so much water. I was down on my hands and knees, soaking it up in all of these towels. My whole skirt is just soaked in this water. And finally, she leaves for a moment. I shut the door, try and compose myself, and I get my pile, and I put it back in the toilet, and I pray to God that it flushes. So I was like, I can't. Like, please, Heavenly Father, please let this flush.
Did you flush?
I did.
Oh, no.
Miracles still exist today, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, I have never been more disgusted with myself. I've never been more mortified. And the whole time, like, right outside the door is my companion and the teenage boys, right? Yep. So there I am, just in this blind panic, soaked wet, just like on the floor trying to clean up my urine. And my companion's like, you good?
I can just imagine you walking out and you're like, we have to go.
No, literally. I was like, I need to shower right now, and like I need to shower off not only the germs and the disgust, but the humiliation of the last 10 minutes.
Get in the car. We have to say closing for get in the car.
No, literally. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was horrible. But the thing is, the grandma did see the pile. She did. She acknowledged it. And I think that's what finally let me have some privacy. Yeah. I never pooped my pants, but that did happen.
After my first 3 months, I'm training.
Okay.
And it is P-Day. I have another companionship in my area who I think those guys are so cool. Now, remember, I am naive, rule-abiding person, and this elder, he is a wild card to me. We had our first snow, and he would do donuts in the church parking lot. And I thought that was so cool. And I'm like, how do I do donuts, elder? And he's like, I'll tell you. Rule number 1, in my front wheel cruise, the way to do donuts is in reverse. I don't know that. The other rule that he says is I feather the e-brake, so that way I can slide around the corner. I don't understand what the word feather means. I think you just rip that e-brake and just have a time. It had just snowed, and the church is across the street from an elementary school. And so the church parking lot is packed with snow, and it's all icy from all the parents dropping their kids off and picking their kids up. I come in, and I'm like, elder, it is a straightaway, and then we are turning into this empty parking lot, and I'm gonna freaking rip it, man. It's gonna be so great. So I floor it, I turn the wheel, and I throw the e-brake. And what happens when you have ice and a very heavy moving car? You just skate. And I tell you, we didn't slow down one bit. I went sideways and then just skated across this parking lot and slammed into the curb of the opposite end of this parking lot. I bent the frame of this car. Both of my driver's side wheels are bent inwards. We shook so hard. I'm surprised the airbags didn't deploy. So I have to.
I'm surprised you didn't flip.
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't flip too. Okay, it was crazy. So I have to call my office and be like, President, I got in a car accident. Well, what did you do? Well, I was being an idiot. Yeah. Nothing like being an idiot on the Lord's dime and the Lord's time, right?
Oh.
So he's like, elder, that's very disappointing. Okay. So we have to figure out, he's like, I'll call you back. I'm like, okay. I then get my transfer call, which is that I am not only staying with my greenie, but I have been bestowed the responsibility of getting a third companion who has autism and who is local from the mission and who has to be in a tripanionship and everything. But it was this great responsibility, and President has a lot of trust in you, which I just broke his trust by crashing the car. And oh my goodness, I have never been more humbled in my entire life.
I mean, compared to all of the stupid things I've heard that elders have done,
yeah,
that one's like, I mean...
It's mild. It's expensive. Yeah. I totaled a car, a 2012 Chevy Cruze that had probably no more than 30,000 miles on it. I cost a lot of money, for sure.
Any other last stories that you want to include? I'm trying to think of... Oh, you know what? Oh, I would be remiss if I didn't mention my final companion. You thought I was unhinged? Nah, I was nothing. I was nothing compared to her. She was from Tonga. She has a gold tooth. She is 5 foot nothing. And she is the loudest person. You think I'm loud? Nah, I'm a mouse compared to her, okay? And she was one of the coolest people I've ever met in my life. And at that time, I had been just having such a difficult time for so long. I was in so much physical pain, and I knew that the end was coming for me. I had gotten my MRI, and I was, like, waiting for my results, which took a couple weeks. So I was only with her for, I think, like, 2.5 weeks or something like that. But that 2.5 weeks was the most wild ride of my whole mission, okay? I get transferred into her area. And, again, still in Fresno, because I only ever was in that city, right? And we decide day one, we're going to ride our bikes. I think this is the first time I rode my bike. So we're out riding. Again, I just met her. You are paired with a stranger. Mm-hmm. And she runs that town. We're in just the heart of the gang-ridden streets of Fresno, California. We're riding down the street. She skirts to a stop in front of this man who's smoking on the street. And she goes, hey! And I wish I could do her accent, but I can't. And he was like, oh, hey, ladies, you know? She grabs this man's cigarette out of his freaking hand, grabs it, throws it to the ground and goes, smoking is so bad for you. And just pedals away.
No way.
I was like, what? So anyways, we start going and I was like, what just happened? But the thing is about her, she was so confident about everything that she did that she like made you question it. She was just one of those people, you know, where she could literally take your cigarette out of your hand and you'd be like, you know what? You're right. Like, hey, I should quit. Like, that was just who she was.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're going, and then we pull up to this fence. All of a sudden, she's, like, pounding with her fist, like, bang, 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 on this chain-linked fence. It's just this courtyard with, you know, tables. They're all empty, right? She bangs on that fence, and out trickles these straight-up gang members. They all have teardrop tattoos. I was like, what is happening? She was like, hey, Tony here? And they're like, yeah, Tony's here. We'll go get him. We're waiting there, right? She knows this whole gang. So they all start, like, coming towards the fence. They're all talking with her. She's got stuff for them in her bag, like treats and different things. She's, like, putting it through the fence. They're trading goods. I was like, what? It was literally wild. Tony comes out, and he's like, hey, how are ya? She was just in this crowd. And we taught the lesson through this chain link fence. It was like this halfway house, but they were still under incarceration, like, rules. Like a joint house arrest community. There's quite a few of those. Anyway, so we, like, teach this lesson outside the fence. I feel like we're getting going in the lesson, right? But then, you know, they start being funnier or whatever. And she just, like, slams her scripture shut. And she's like, I'll come back when you're ready to feel the spirit. Puts her thing in her bag and was like, let's go. I was, okay. You know, I'm just here to follow. This is our first day together, okay? We then bike to this, like, real rough area. Super rundown apartment complex, okay? So we get in there, and she goes, I'm here! And you literally hear, like, a movie, like, people, like, oh, no! Like, moving furniture. And I was like, what is going on? She was like, I gotta announce myself so they can hide their drugs. We go to this apartment, and this woman pops out. She was like, hey, sisters. Hey, we weren't ready for you. And she was like, I'm coming in. And she just, like, busts past this woman. Right? We walk into this apartment. There are two grown men, and they're, like, moving the couch. And then you've got this old woman. Oh, my gosh. The whole place smells like they all just smoked so much weed. And I was like, whoa. Like, and so my companion, she starts going, boys, what are you doing with the furniture? She goes and she hops on the couch with her shoes, okay? Bends over the back of it and then grabs a bag and just like whoosh. And the bag comes up and it's this bag full of weed. And she was like, ugh. Diane, I thought you said you were gonna quit. And she was like, it's not mine, it's my son's.
Oh my God.
Like, these two grown men, like gang member men, are there, and they're like, you give that back now. And she's like, you know this isn't good for you. She's like going to take it outside, and they're like, oh, hey, now, we can make it a negotiation. And she was like, all right, what you got for me? So then they start, literally, I was like watching a deal go down. They bring out all this stuff, so they can bring out like a pipe and a bong, and then they had like some cigarettes and some other stuff, and so she makes a trade. She was like, I'll give this back to you for that. She like takes him outside and like stomps on him outside.
Oh my God.
Yes, I know! But like the thing, it was just crazy that she was able to do that and like not get beat to a bloody pulp.
Yeah.
But everyone's just kind of like, yeah, that's how she is. She just comes in.
Oh my goodness.
And anyways, she comes in and she goes, I'd like to sing you a song before we go. She just starts belting in like the most off-key pitch. I love to see the temple. She starts, right? Like, I love to see the temple. Sister, are you gonna join?
Oh, no.
She turns to me. I'm like, I'm the only white person in this room. And I am like scared out of my freaking mind right now. Okay, and I was like, I'm going there someday. We sing I Love to See the Temple, and then we leave. So when we get back home into the apartment, right, I was like, what are you going to do with all that stuff? Because she still had like the bong and she had all these things. She opens up a cupboard. And in this cupboard is just so much paraphernalia of like drug-related things. You've got cigarettes. You've got bongs. You've got pipes. You've got it all. And I was like, sister, there is so much stuff in here. But yeah, no, she would just steal from people all the time. She would just straight up take it from your hand and be like, that's mine now.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh. And she only ever ate hot Cheetos and like the spiciest ramen. You know, that stuff you can heat up, right? Yep. We both also got food poisoning together, and it was a horrible experience. Oh, don't recommend. But we were both throwing up all night. We had a service project at like 9 a.m, okay? I am not doing well. Like, I just spent the whole night back and forth with her puking. Yeah. Homegirl's in the car eating hot Cheetos. And she's fine, like iron stomach. I was like, don't you feel horrible? I saw you throwing up. She's like, oh, I'm good now. But final story. We're in the car. We're getting ready to go for the day. She has her hot top ramen. She puts it on the dashboard to buckle her seatbelt. I'm driving. I don't notice that she does that. I thought it was like in her lap, right? So I put the car in reverse and I press on the gas. And when I pressed on the gas, it like slides off the dashboard. This hot ramen spills over her entire dress. And I was like, oh, sister. And she goes, oh, that's so hot. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, let's get you changed and everything. And she goes, no, then we'd be late. And I was like, you're literally soaked in ramen right now. Like, from head to toe, soaked in ramen. It wasn't one of the cups. It was like those big bowl ones. Yeah. And she was like, I can eat it from here. She literally takes her hand, the noodles on her lap, and starts eating. No. I was like, you're the coolest person I've ever met. And she spent the whole day in her ramen-soaked dress. Oh. I was like, you know what? That's someone who loves to serve God. There you go. That was exactly what I needed at the time. I just needed someone who was so unhinged to get my mind out of, like, the pain that I was in. Yeah. I was like, yeah, absolutely, let's go. Let's hit up every gang member in this town. Let's make best friends with them. She was just in all of the gangs, and they all knew her. They were so great with us. Super great. Yeah. So, highly recommend, you know, if you are going to serve a mission, just be unhinged, you know? There you go. Well, I think that's a good place to end, unless you have anything else to add.
Oh, I was going to say, my one thing was I sweat so much. And I don't know if you were also like this in the heat of California. You probably were. Oh, yes. In that I would come up to people's doors looking wetter than I would have if I had jumped into a swimming pool. Like, I am just a drowned, overweight rat just sitting here. Had my white shirt, right? And so obviously you can see the sweat and the pits and everything. And I would sweat so much that it would pool around my belt waist. And so then the bottom of my shirt would also be just soaked. And I just remember people being like, hey, I don't want to hear anything that you have to say, but do you want a paper towel? The real saints are the people who would give me an actual washcloth than a paper towel. Because you put a Bounty paper towel, and I am just soaking that up, okay? I am ruining that commercial where they show one swipe and it's done. No, I am just absolutely drenched in sweat. I think I lost 30 pounds in water weight my first 3 transfers.
Oh, I believe it.
Just straight water weight. I remember weighing myself before and after a game of chair soccer in the summer, and I would be down 5 pounds.
That's so gross.
It's so much sweat, okay? Oh. So much sweat.
How much weight did you lose total on your mission?
I lost 85 pounds, I think. Right. Around that. I came back at about 205, 210. And I have since gained that and more back.
How did anyone let you in good conscience, knowing you're about to ruin their furniture with all your
my
sweat?
goodness. The worst part about it is in the winter or something, I don't look hot. But then the moment I stop moving and I sit down and I start teaching you a lesson, that's when my body is like, oh, time to sweat everything you haven't yet. And I just start dripping on your couch, okay? Oh. And I am just looking at you and I am trying to bring the spirit as I'm just wiping away. I eventually carried my own wash rag. In fact, I had 4 throughout the day.
Oh my gosh!
I had 1, and then by the time we got back to the car, I'd have to switch it out for the next dry thing. I was on a 3-hour cycle Okay, my one went from 9 a.m. to 11:30, and then I'd have to switch it out for 11:30 to 2.
How did your companions not be so disgusted? Oh my gosh, I do feel bad.
It was never a topic of my discussion with my companions, you know? That was just one of those things that they could handle for 6 weeks. They could do anything for 6 weeks, and dealing with this sweat mess was what they could do for 6 weeks. And I always thought, being bigger, I was like, you know, if I just lose the weight, I will stop sweating. And it never stopped. It's never the crown of my head. The crown of my head is bone freaking dry, okay? It is straight forehead. Straight up, the forehead becomes the waterfall.
I can't believe people really are so charitable, because I'm sorry, I wouldn't let you in.
No. And I didn't get let in a lot. Okay, you know what?
Was it hard though, self-esteem wise?
I have learned a long time ago that my sweat does not define me, which is probably going to be the title of this episode. Knowing you is the quote that is straight up going to be the title. Is my sweat does not define me.
Honestly, it doesn't. You're right.
It has to be a conscious effort to not care so much about it.
Yeah.
Because it is everything to me. It's every part of my life.
I mean, I sweat really bad as well, but I mean, mine isn't as bad as yours.
Yeah.
Yes, I sweat from my forehead, but mine's more my underarms, which has now been cured, as you all know, by Carpe deodorant. Shout out. And I don't know why you refuse to listen to me. Why don't you buy their products?
Because I'm an absolute cheapskate. My sweat is not worth a $30 2-ounce
but it'll
bottle.
stop you from sweating.
But I also thought that losing the weight would stop me from sweating. So what it now is I have to financially commit to stop sweating. I was able to physically commit to stop sweating, and that didn't work. I have yet to financially commit to stop sweating. That's the big thing for me.
And on that note, I think we're going to end it. Would you like to sign us out?
All right.
Do you remember?
It's been fun.
That's not what it is.
Thanks for listening to our thoughts on life. This has been Life According to Nikki.
Because.
Oh, you're acting like I remember it from a month and a half ago. Okay,
Okay, sorry.
You gotta feed it to me. You can't just make the gestures and be like, all right, what's the next word? Can I get a vowel, please? Can I buy a vowel? Thanks for listening to our thoughts on life, because this has been Life According to Nikki. I got it.
Good job.